Jeremiah Elliot Osai, and I'm doing a book review of a book named Henry's Freedom Box. So in the first page, it is talking about what slaves didn't get to know, and that is their date of birth. Every slave did not get to know their date of birth. And in the second page, Henry and his brothers and sisters worked in the big house where Henry's master lived. So it's basically saying where Henry worked and what he did as a slave, and talking about all his siblings and his parents. I know what you're wondering. What happened to his father? We might find out in the end, or maybe in the middle of the book. On the third page, it says, one morning, the master called for Henry and his mother. You can see that the master is in his bed looking very unhappy. He might be sad. And Henry looks a bit happy there. He might be excited that his master's sick. So the master's sick, and he said to Henry and his mother, "You are a good worker, Henry. I am giving you to my son. You must obey him and never tell a lie." Henry nodded, but he didn't say thank you. So that means he will lie to the master's son one day. The fourth page, Henry says, "Free bird, happy bird." So what I think Henry thinks of when he says free bird, happy bird, he should probably be thinking of him being free like the bird. I've gone into the fourth page, and Henry's new master is really harsh. Do you tear that tobacco leaf? The boss yelled at the new boy. He poked the boy with a stick. So basically the book is now explaining what his new boss does. So his new boss always carries a stick around him and walks to children and slaves, beating them if they do something wrong. And then a few months later, Henry got older and older. And then now he was an adult. One day, he was walking home, and then he saw his auntie Nancy. She was on her way to the shops holding a basket. Over here on this page, that's Henry and that's his auntie Nancy. And then after they had a little chat, they said they'll meet each other again sometime. And then once Nancy left, Henry started humming on his way home. Another pack of months later, Henry asked Nancy to be his wife, and then they both got married. Henry had 3 sons and 1 baby. When both their masters agreed, Henry and Nancy were married. So the book is now explaining that Henry's auntie Nancy and Henry himself married Nancy and had 2 boys and 1 baby. So in the next page, it says that Henry was working hard, trying to forget what his auntie Nancy said. Because yesterday they lost a big deal of money. So today he started to work hard, very hard, to get another pack of money. Next, his friend James came into the factory. He whispered to Henry, "Your wife and children were just sold at the slave market." "No," cried Henry. So right now the book is saying that Henry is unhappy that his children are being slaves. So Henry thought of sailing them to another place. So once Henry and his wife sailed the 3 children to another place, they started to work harder and harder. At lunchtime, Henry rushed to the center of the town. A large group of slaves were tied together. The owner shouted at them. Henry